Have I ever told you that I like the way you think? Here's what I mean by that. So our Marshall Zellinger has been investigating the pants off Xcel Energy because of your high bills. And one thing we've talked about are the state regulators who oversee Xcel. There are 3 commissioners. And now you've been asking, well, who oversees them? That's a good question. Marshall's got you covered.
We had reduced our consumption by 30%. And my rate went up 70.
Ken Bugosh is one of the viewers who emailed us skeptical about the Public Utilities Commission.
Ultimate question was whether the members of the Colorado Public Utilities Commission own any stock in Xcel Energy.
State law does not allow that. Commissioners must also refrain from holding any stocks or bonds of any corporation subject to PUC regulation. Commissioners must also file these personal financial disclosure forms every year. These show basics about how and where they invest. Some of the disclosures include the specific funds. None specifically showed stock in Xcel, which would not be legal.
I'm just frustrated that we still don't have any meaningful alignment between customer and utility incentives.
Just like customers, Chairman Eric Blank showed his anger over high utility bills.
I don't know that this process is on track to result in any better outcome.
Blank has repeatedly said he wants to create a system where if utility companies like Xcel have to buy expensive gas in the moment, that the company shares some of that cost. He floated an idea of having the company cover 5% of the cost instead of passing 100% on to customers. These lines called natural gas are the part of your bill that adjusts several times a year based on the actual price of gas. After going up in January, Xcel reduced it twice so far because it paid less for gas than expected. This line on your gas bill is paying Xcel back for the hundreds of millions of dollars worth of really expensive natural gas it had to buy in the middle of February 2021. This charge will not go away until after January 2025.
When customers win, the utilities win, and when customers lose, the utilities lose. And it can be small, but I don't think it should continue to be zero.
In that decision to pay Xcel back for the really expensive natural gas, the PUC did subtract $8 million in a penalty out of $500 million. Blank's idea to not pass on every dollar to a customer has gone nowhere still. That discussion was tabled, and it'll get brought back up again at a meeting in 2 weeks.
So when we talk about like the regulators of the PUC, it's not just like 3 people sitting in a room alone.
Right. We've interviewed the chief economist, and there's a bunch of people who make recommendations that they ultimately decide. And I found out that the staff of the PUC have to sign conflict of interest forms that say we have no conflict of interest in the decisions we're making or the recommendations we're making.
It was a great question by viewers. Thanks for getting the answer.